Before you watch this, I want you to know that at this point, my digital footprint is ruined to the point where my grandkids won't be able to get jobs. Screw it, characters I would smash with no shame. Why are the last 3 blurred? Don't ask too many questions. First up, Lisa from Blackpink. Ever since she started rapping about money, she instantly became my soulmate. As a child, I always admired Mr. Krabs because of how horrifyingly greedy he is. He's just like me for real. But the only issue with Mr. Krabs is the fact that he's way too ugly. But Lisa, she's an angel. I want to break in a bank with her and just bathe in all the cash. I want us to build a Scrooge McDuck vault and swim in the gold. I want Lisa to put a life insurance policy on me and then just stab me to death. I'd forgive her right away too. She deserves the bag. Before I die, I'm also willing to confess to all the crimes we did together just so the police officers don't arrest her. Also, I know Lisa's not a character and she's technically human, and to be honest, that's how I like my women. Technically human. Up next, Tarzan's mom. Oh my god, she was so goddamn fine. These animators went all out. They knew what they were doing. I have no idea why animators think it's acceptable to make people fall in love with inanimate objects and animals that have human traits, but they gotta stop. I don't want to hang out with the boys while we're talking about crushes and they start dropping names like Rihanna, Margot Robbie, and then they turn to me and I'm like, oh, my crush? It's a gorilla mommy. She was super nurturing and I guess I'm ready to settle down and make a family. And apparently gorillas have an average PP size of 1.25 inches, so I feel like I can perfectly satisfy her. Up next is Caitlyn from Arcane. In the show, she's 16 before the time skip and 23 after. To be clear, I'm only attracted to the post-time skip version. I am not a Diddy disciple as many of you have claimed in the past. I love consent. Caitlyn is a sharpshooter who decided to become a police officer after her royal family tried to force her to have a normal job. Unfortunately, Caitlyn has a sense of justice, so she won't put me in handcuffs super easily, but I'll find a way. I always do. Also, because Caitlyn's parents love her a lot, there is no way they'll let her associate with me, but that can work in my favor. She also suffers from being British, but I'm sure I can cure her. Up next is Master Viper. Yes, the snake from Kung Fu Panda. Before you accuse me of losing my mind, I just want y'all to know that she doesn't have any fangs. This is why she took up ribbon dancing, but she was still a disappointment to her family because she didn't have the power to surpass her dad, whose poison fangs easily took down large prey. This is when she used her skills to take down a poison-resistant enemy and protected her father, which led her down the path of becoming a legendary Kung Fu master. Did I mention she doesn't have any fangs? Also, she's the only person who treats Po with any respect, and she's genuinely kind despite being a snake. In most pieces of media, snakes are generally seen as manipulative and evil, so it's nice to see a character like her break stereotypes. Also, she doesn't have any fangs. Up next, Ghost Spider from Into the Spider-Verse. I know that she's a snow bunny, and you know what?
When I die, I'ma go to snow bunny heaven.
She is fine as hell. She is so fine, I'ma stick by her even if she's in serious trouble. We could be in an active crime scene and her powers could stop working all of a sudden. Then I'ma start stroking her arms until she's able to shoot sticky webs again. With her, I'm willing to be a ride or die as long as she's mine. I'm willing to go into her universe and abandon all my friends and family. Also, before you say anything, yes, I'm obviously going to have to take out Miles before I shoot my shot. Don't worry though, nobody's going to miss him. He's just another black hero with electric powers. There's a ton of those. Lastly, before we enter the top 3, Mei from Naruto. She constantly dreams about marriage and I'm shocked that no ninja decided to wife her up. Since her creator is from Japan, they really hate women who aren't married above the age of 25, so she's portrayed as being super sensitive that she's 30 years old. But I don't even care if she's 70, I would still be willing to spit 9 rotten yams into her and suck 10 out. She's that fine. Also, when she met Sasuke during the Hokage summit, she tried to kill him for being handsome or something, so at least I know I'm safe from her wrath. Okay, now we enter the top 3. All of you patiently waited for this, but the pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies. What that mouth do? The pea shooter is the first line of defense against zombies and it's extremely reliable for the early game levels. It also resembles Bellsprout from Pokemon and I could make an entire video on Pokemon characters on Smash. Let me know if you want that. But the pea shooter has many different variants. The best ones are the goo pea shooter, the Gatling pea shooter, and the 3-headed one. I will not be explaining why, you can figure it out yourself. In the number 2 spot, it's Doc Hudson. He won 3 Piston Cups before retiring due to a serious wreck that he got into. He also pulled off the coolest move in all of Pixar history with this flip. I guess there's one thing I don't like about Doc. He has an extremely recognizable mustache, he couldn't finish off a race, and he has an arm tattoo which says Twin H Power. H. Doc was a straight up Nazi. But you know what? Maybe gassing people has a different meaning in the Cars universe. Also, why were there buses and taxis in that universe? That should never made any sense to me. And now the number 1 spot, Speed. No, not that Speed. The Speed from One Piece. Most of you who are watching this are way too sensible to watch 1000 episodes of One Piece to get to this peak design, but don't worry, I'm willing to put you onto Speed. She's a half woman, half horse. That's about it. All I have to do to get her to fall in love with me is give her a basket of apples and then I'm in. Now, do I find horses attractive? Absolutely not. I am not a weirdo. But if I ever met Horsalina, the things I would do. Wait a second, let me Google something. Okay, never mind, I might just disappoint her. My feelings would not be able to handle this much woman horse. You should watch the video on the screen, I promise it won't ruin your algorithm. And 1000 likes for a part 4.